remember, you gotta feel pain to exist. Like, really had to lose couple friends, really had to move like my ends. I ain't like you pretend. I ain't down for this acting thing, that's dead. They don't wanna see you living best lives laughing. They'd rather see you with your hands that starving. I ain't trying to chill with a.
In the third episode of Second Cup Story, you will meet an artist whose music I've become a big fan of. Instagram did its magic this time, and we connected through following each other and DMs. Through music we can express ourselves and let the world know who we are and our lives. Music can educate us and sometimes even save us. I welcome the rapper and great artist Sharpy from England. So I say hi Sharpy and welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
I will start with, where are you from?
I'm from Thurrock, Essex, United Kingdom, which is literally just outside of the East End of London.
Just wonder, the music you're doing today, where did it all start? Were you just a kid or was it in your more adult life?
I've been doing music since I was about 11 or 12, really and truly. The first time I stepped inside of a music studio, I was 13 years old. I've been recording from young because the area that I was brought up in had youth clubs. So in the UK, we used to have youth clubs. I don't know whether you have them in Sweden, but like basically they was like buildings with, I don't know, like music studios in, snooker tables in, basically a place for kids to come off the streets when there's nothing else to do. Come in, get yourself busy, be productive, don't get yourself in trouble, it was them type of places. So I was going to my local youth club from very young, recording music. So I'd say about 13 years old when I first knew that that I could make music. 14 years old when I first stepped inside a music studio to record, 13 or 14, I can't remember. I was definitely 13 or 14. I recorded a track called Break Loose, which everyone at my school had on their phone.
Oh, that's so cool.
At the time. And these times you could only have one song on your phone. So like you was deleting your ringtone in order to get that song on your phone. You know what I'm trying to say? You could have one song on your phone.
Oh, that's so cool.
And people had that. But yeah, I've been doing music as long as I can really truly remember.
Can you see that your style has evolved over the years?
Definitely. I mean, if you listen to my old music, I think my oldest bit of music that's out for the public to listen to is 2012. So I've got people who listen to that project and tell me how much I've evolved since then. Obviously, I've got older, my voice has got deeper, but my me as a person and your artistry is only ever as good as the life you've lived or the thoughts in your brain, right? So like, you can only ever talk about what you're doing. And I feel like I've been through more now as a 33-year-old man compared to a 22-year-old boy. I think I've been through a lot more.
Yeah.
So my music has more meaning now. You might have listened to my music at 2021, listened to it and gone, oh, that's cool, that's good. But you might not have related to it. Whereas now I think that people listen to me and they're like, right, like I really see what you're saying there. Do you know what I mean? I think the relatability is more there for the man version of me rather than the younger version of me.
Yeah. And can you see it has changed now, especially also when you have kids? Has it been like...
Of course. Yes. I mean, when you have kids, you naturally change anyway. So, like there's ways that I'd have acted about certain situations before that I wouldn't act like that now, or I'd think a different way, or, so maybe I do rap different as well. I kind of rap now with I rap about mental health quite a lot. I'd say about 60% of my music is mental health related, or at least touches on it, right? But the thing is, I rap about mental health with like a light at the end of the tunnel. So I rap about mental health as if like there's a way to get out of it as well. Or I was feeling like this is what I had to do. Now this is what I do. Compared to, mental health has got a hold of me. It's dark. I don't see any way out. I don't know what to do. There's kind of two different plays you can put on it. I kind of put on the mental health aspect where there's a way out, as opposed to oh, this is dark and dangerous, I'm going to stay here forever. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think
So
that's why
I put a positive twist on it.
Yeah, I think that's also what like caught my eyes and my feelings when I started to listen to your music. When we started to follow each other, I went into your Insta. And this
Thank
goes directly to my heart because it's like you're saying, it's just tragedy and it's lots about addictions and drugs and stuff, but in a way that is sad. And it's you're writing also about it in a way that I feel like it's not like, oh, I'm on drugs, it's cool, you know. It's like a real life thing that it's, and you can be saved. You can, as you're saying, see the lights of the tunnel.
Again, because do you know what it is? Again, it comes down to something that we were speaking about before we came on camera, is like, I can't do too many things at once, if you feel what I'm saying. So like, I can't, how do I say this? Right, so I've been through everything, and when I went through everything, I wasn't rapping. So I took a 9-year break, right? So I was rapping up until about 2012, and then I stopped rapping until 2020, 2021 again. Through the 8 years, I was on drugs, I was raving to drum and bass music, I was, you know, doing crimes, you know, being a bad boy. So I weren't rapping during them times. I was rapping in the shower because that's who I am inside. But everything that I was doing, I couldn't be creative. So like, I was doing drugs, I was raving, whatever, but I couldn't be creative in that time as well. Maybe because my lifestyle weren't allowing me to, maybe because I didn't have the confidence to. X, Y, or Z, life had me in a chokehold, right? So I weren't talking about what I was going through when I went through it. So when I got out of it, my girlfriend at the time, she got pregnant with my daughter, which was my first child. She's 3 now, but when she got pregnant, and it made me realize that I was going to be a dad and life is good and life can be beautiful, that's when I started reflecting on everything that I'd been through. That the suicides, of like my brother killed himself, and then my best friend killed himself, and then the drugs that I've been on, the raving and the criminal lifestyle I was in, all of that stuff within them years. I then thought back to it and then thought, right, I'm going to talk about it now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in a space where I can tell people about this, because I couldn't tell people about it while I was going through it. So there is no material of mine where I'm sitting there going, oh, you know, I'm rapping about how much drugs I'm doing. I'm so messed up in the head. I wish there was. I really wish there was. I wish I had have got a bit creative and I had have stepped out of, and whilst I was in the midst of it, I wish I had have spoke about it, but I just didn't. But I feel like all of them experiences loaded. I've now got even stuff that I haven't spoke about. I've got a holster there loaded with stuff that I can still spray out that I haven't spoke about yet. You know, so I think life experiences is important. Obviously, maybe it's better if you rap about it while you're going through it because it's more believable rather than talking about it in a past tense. But it's still good to get it out there, you know, and it's done well for me because my first mixtape, Graveyard Shift, is probably about 80-90% mental health based, and a lot of my fan base have got mental health. They idolize that album. Like they idolize that mixtape. Even to this day, that mixtape came out in 2022, which, you know, it doesn't sound like that long ago, but it was quite long ago now. I've had other projects since then. And every day I still look at my mentions and there's people mentioning Graveyard Shift and how much they love that mixtape. I've even got a canvas of it here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we need to show that on Insta so people can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's a massive part of my life. It definitely changed my life, that mixtape, definitely, because it put me into a light. But remember, I hadn't even worked with any famous big artists then. That was before. I kind of created a little buzz for myself, by myself. It was quite amazing. I've sold, I don't know, like 600-700 copies of that mixtape around the world. My second mixtape has big features on it, like famous features on it, not just me, and it hasn't done as well as that mixtape. And I spent more money on making my second mixtape. I got features, big guys who everyone knows, Mike Righteous, ACMC. I got, you know, tracks like Girl Called Molly on there. Like I really, really went in for my second mixtape. Yeah, people love and adore my first mixtape. And excellent. I love that, you know, but it just goes to show that you actually haven't got to spend money on features and do all this, that. Just be real and authentic, and you'll get your time. You know, that's what I learned from that. I think that's why I wouldn't be so big and so much of a rush to get another big feature and spend more money on fattening someone else's pockets to get on my track. I think that I have actually got what it takes to do it myself. You just need to be authentic.
Yeah.
You just need to be authentic, relatable, and your promotion needs to be quite good as well, like in any way possible that you can do it.
Yeah, yeah. But do you feel like now when you are not like on drugs and stuff and your mind is clear, do you feel like also the lyrics has changed and the creativity has changed? And we spoke about you being an empath, and can you feel like now when you're clean that your mind is more open and you are more
100%.
sensitive?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've got kids now, so that kind of makes me vulnerable as a person.
Yeah.
I think having kids turns you into more of a vulnerable person than before, because you've got people looking to you now, you know. So I've got 2 little heads, 4 little eyes that look at me, watching me, what I do. So I can't move how I moved before. I can't do what I was doing before. I can't speak how I was speaking before. I can't do that because my kids will listen or see and be like, what? Like, you know, there's levels in life. Everything's a level in life, you know. You're in a certain place, you can do certain things, you can talk about certain things. You're in the next place now. You might not be able to get away with doing the things that you could do before, you know, so you got to switch it up. And then it's just like constantly like that, you know, all the way through life up until when we're old and grey. You know, it's like that.
Yeah.
So it's just about really and truly fitting into where you are in life. And no one can stay the same forever, can we?
Oh,
you can't
thank
stay the same
God.
forever.
Thank God.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, because if we stayed the same forever, we might stay in the same places forever. And that's a scary thought. You don't want to.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about that because you wrote a very emotional song that made me like choke up, and It's All Right Though is the name of the song for your brother Danny. And you wrote that he left the world to not feel any more pain, but instead he left pain behind him for the rest of you to deal with. And then you also wrote like if people with suicidal thoughts, they could reach out to you and DM you. So I thought that was a very beautiful thing to do. Is it okay if you share a little bit about that?
Oh, of course. Yeah, so obviously in 2015, my older brother committed suicide. So like when I say about painless, he did it painless. He gassed himself out in his car. So like he fell asleep and then he died in his sleep, basically. So he did die painless, exactly how he wanted to die. But yeah, that left a long lasting effect on me. He was my best friend throughout my whole entire life. And then 6 months later, one of my best friends, Milky, he killed himself as well, but not in so much of a nice way, in a much more traumatic and dreadful way. So I won't go into that, but he done the same. And by the time 2016 came, the old me was gone, deleted, done. You know, I was a new person by now, probably pushing more onto drugs by this time. I was more, what's the word? Self-destruction.
Yeah.
I was more on that self-destruction thing where I just didn't care about anything anymore, you know? Yeah, of course, by 2020, I was starting to come out of that. So I'd say I had 5 years of absolutely just, messing my life up. 2015 to 2020, I'd say I just went on a mad one.
Yeah.
And then I started calming down again, obviously. Then I was going to have a daughter, right? I met my woman, she got pregnant, obviously, and everything changes. But there's been times, like I'm lucky to have even got to her, because there's been times where I've wanted to do exactly the same thing, you know? Like there's been times where I haven't wanted, oh my God, I've been in so low, it's unreal. You know what I'm trying to say? So
can you feel that the music have saved you also in a way, like, or was it?
Music saved me, but can I just be honest? My daughter saved me.
Yeah.
My daughter saved me.
Yeah.
But because I don't know whether I'd be here talking to you right now, or I'd even have any mixtapes or any music under my belt if it weren't for my daughter. Because it was the fact that my woman got pregnant I was like, I'm going to start writing again. This has inspired me. That's why when you, in that It's All Right Though, yeah, that's right. Sorry, I was just trying to think of the lyric. In It's All Right Though, I say, now I'm about to have a daughter and it's about to change my life, and I would never want her to feel how I felt inside. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it was her. And by the way, It's All Right Though was the first track that I wrote coming back in. First, It's All Right Though was the first track I wrote for the Graveyard Shift, and it was the first track I recorded. Probably why it's my deepest and darkest song, or up there, is because it was the first time I put pen back to paper properly for years. And I wanted to lay everything out in that track. Everything. That's why I went from verse 1 talking about a one thing, verse 2 talking about how my nan died and, you know, my dad's got cancer, verse 3 talking about how my brother died and literally how I'm about to have a daughter. That track, I feel like that track explains everything, you know.
Yeah.
Just in one track. So, you know, I didn't really have to go on about it all too much in the rest of the mixtape. I might bop through it, I might mention it, but I feel like that track really, like, if you want to know about my life, I'd send someone that track.
Yeah, and
I think.
that was the first also song that I like. Oh, it just hit
Took
me.
it.
Yeah, really. And I
Not all
remember,
of my songs are like that.
yeah, I was like, my God, I'm here almost standing crying. I don't even know you like that well, and
Yeah.
you are. I'm choking up, and I can feel the pain.
I hear that. Yeah, I hear that. Because not all my songs are like that, by the way. You could turn to another random song and I'm just barring and I'm spitting some cold shit and I'm not
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
anything
yeah.
about mental health. Like I'm just spitting. You know, I never wanted to make that my aura. And the thing is, one thing I've never wanted to get bogged down with is making everybody happy. Because if you take in everybody's opinions, you're going to end up being a shell of the person you truly are. And two, you can't make everyone happy. It's impossible.
No,
You
exactly.
can't make everyone happy.
Exactly.
So I'll have someone go into me, like I'll come out, like after Graveyard Shift, I had a load of big fans. I've still got a load of good fans, but imagine Graveyard Shift got me a load of fans in, yeah, thinking, oh yeah, this guy's a mental health rapper, he's going to talk about this stuff. By the time Underdog Mentality come out and I was spitting on some different stuff, I had messages from certain people going, oh, I think you've lost your way a bit. I think you've you know, I don't think you're hitting it just like you was last year, for instance. And I'm like, all right, I appreciate your opinion. Like, thank you for your opinion. Am I going to change you? Am I going to try and cater to you? No, because at the end of the day, like, yes, I came through with the mental. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to rap about wanting to die all the time? Is that what you want from me? Because like I've got more than that. I'm a person who doesn't want to die. First and foremost, I love my life. Like I've been in times where I've hated it and I wanted to die. And yes, I'll talk about that. But if you're talking about me right now, I'm happy, man. So like, why would you want me to constantly rap about being depressed? I get it because certain people are depressed. So they want to hear me or they want to hear an artist talk how they want to feel something. And I get it. Then go and listen to some of my music that makes you feel something if you don't want to hear me spitting my heart out. Because remember, before the mental health and before the suicides and before the drugs and before, there was just a little MC who was 14 years old called Sharpy who went into the studio rapping.
Yeah.
Like, you know? So like, it's that's not my persona, that mental health and all that. Yes, I can rap about it. Yes, I will rap about it. I've got more rapping about it. In fact, I've got Graveyard Shift 2 coming out. That's my next mixtape. So I'm going back into that space. Like, you know, I'm going back there. It might not be as dark, but sometimes like I've got experiences with not domestic abuse, but bad relationships, to say the least. I've written all about it. Heart out on the table. I've got a track called Toxic Loving. Toxic Loving is for my next mixtape. Probably won't be heard till next year, but just know when that mixtape comes out, I'm going to have a whole lot of other heartful stuff on there. So it's coming, but I don't like it when people expect that of me 24/7 because I am a rapper. I am an MC. You know, I like to spit my heart out too. Sometimes I just want to bar, put words together, put flows together. I don't always want to talk about my depressing past, you know.
No, of course. And if we go into
people,
your Insta, I feel like we can feel the other, like we can see another Sharpy also, not just about mental health and stuff, because there are many videos that it cracks me up, like, you know, and I start to laugh. And
I'll do a video about anything, man. Like, I like to show people that I'm a person as well. I'm not one of these guys, because I'm an underground rapper. Remember, I'm not a mainstream rapper. I'm not selling thousands a day and doing tours worldwide. So, you know, with that being said, like, you need to show the people who you are.
Yeah.
And connect with them. So I'll do a video every now and then, nothing to do with music. Like, I'm at a castle. Look how cool this castle is. You know, like, or look how blue this water is. Like, I'll do a video still letting people know my opinions, because social media demands that now as well, by the way. Like, nobody cares about my music that much. Like, for instance, if you go on my Instagram, and yes, I've got some hardcore fans and I love them to pieces. I've sold over 1,000 CDs worldwide and I'm proud of everything that I've done. I've worked with some of the best producers, some of the best rappers. I'm so happy, But really and truly, I am just a person. And I am accessible. Look, I'm talking to you now. People talk to me. People hit me up. People from all around the world, Australia, America, Canada, all over the UK as well as Europe. You know, I've got people who hit me up from everywhere and talk to me about their day, tell me about, you know, and I love that. I'm accessible. You can access me. And I think that's what puts me, like, for a lot of guys, men especially, I've got a lot of men who suffer with mental health who listen to me, and they'll just slide into my DMs at any time, and they'll just tell me what's on them, even if it's just for a normal chat, or if they even just waffling and talking rubbish. I'll get it. You know, they'll talk to me about it, and I'll reply. That must put me above or ahead of your favorite famous rapper, right? Because you can't just DM Eminem and get a reply. You know what I'm trying to say? So, like, you can, you know, I'm not only an artist that people can relate to, but you can also message me and get a reply. I don't think I'm too good. Yeah. So I think that stuff helps. But saying that, though, my Instagram, I lose about 100 followers on Instagram a week. I gain followers, but I also lose about 100 a week. So people come on and they fall off. It's so much, like, you can't keep tabs on everything. You can't just watch everything and figure out, oh, who's unfollowed me? Let me go. You can't do it. You have to let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
And I think the Insta struggle, everyone has it. And do your thing and do what you love.
Yeah, fact. Exactly. So many people unfollow me, and I can't even get into thinking, why? Why are they unfollowing me? What am I doing? No, man. I'm just going to be myself.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be myself. I might annoy people. Maybe some people might be just like, I'm not in the mood for this guy. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I think that's just normal when your platform gets a bit bigger anyway. You can't keep everyone happy 24/7. So my motto and my advice to people would be, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Don't try and cater to anyone. Try and make everyone happy. It won't happen, man. Yeah. You've got to just stay on your own journey, be authentic to yourself, and whatever will be. That's it.
Yeah, and then I think your music also will be much more authentic, and I think that will touch people also, because you can feel that it's not like, oh, you've been paid just to make a hit or something. This comes from the heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I've got an EP. Sorry, I've got an EP coming with a guy from New York as well. So my next mixtape won't come out until next year. But I always like to keep myself busy, you know, with certain artists or producers, release little projects and stuff. So yeah, man, I always like to cater to people and, you know, not disappear completely off the scene.
No, and I can feel many of the songs we can see on your Insta. We can see that you collaborate with many different artists like K-Sonic, Lady Bex in your newest video, and Tans and Mike Righteous, Keepy Beats, Siggy Music, and there's so many of them. And it's so cool to see, like, you are in it, and then you have all those artists that you collaborate with. And
yeah, I mean, look, I live for this stuff, man. I really do. Obviously now I live for my kids too, but this is what I was born to do. Like, I wasn't born to do anything else. I was born to do this, you know. This is who I am. So
yeah, and we spoke about that a little bit before we started. Like, if you are creative, I can feel that myself. Sometimes the mind is just all over the place, like, because the the creative part, it's like it needs to get out there. And
Of course.
yeah, I remember when I had a period in my life where I didn't feel so well, and I couldn't express myself in my creative way. So I was telling people it feels like someone chopped off my legs and arms, and like I'm not whole. I need to get my creativity out there.
I understand that. I fully understand that so much. Like, I fully get that, because I think, like, even when I like last year, for instance, I'm quite hard on myself about last year, and I'm not sure whether it's actually warranted. Like, I'm not sure whether it's like, I should actually be hard on myself, but I am. Last year, like, for instance, 2023, I put out so many videos. I was working with everyone. I appeared on so many different podcasts, so many different interviews, done so many different series, done about 6 or 7 music videos that year. I went in hard in 2023. And I think after that, 2024 was a bit of a deflation because of that. I didn't put out, well, I did. I put out Underdog Mentality last year, at the beginning of last year, which was my second mixtape. But because it was so early, I don't kind of feel like it came out last year when it did. But I done one music video last year, and it weren't even my song. It was Emotional Wreck with a artist called RSD and an artist called Mike Righteous. That was the only video I done last year. One video in the whole calendar year of 2024. This year, I've done 2 videos. It's only June. It's only June. I've done 2 videos this year. So I'm already ahead of last year in videos. But last year, I just feel like what you just said about someone's chopped off your hands and your legs. I felt like that last year. I felt like my creativity was gone. I felt like I wanted to be out in the public eye. I wanted to prove to everyone I'm still doing it, but I was struggling to figure out how. Yeah, man. It's like, and I feel like this year, naturally, I haven't really done that much. I've been to the studio like once or twice. I've done a couple of videos, and I feel like the love this year is so much bigger and stronger than last year. Last year, I collaborated with big rappers like Shotty Horror. I've done bits last year, and still it felt underwhelming. So I relate with what you just said there about feeling like your arms and legs. I feel like I couldn't achieve what I thought I could achieve, and I couldn't do it no matter what. And even when I'm on my own with all the lights off writing, I feel like I couldn't get in that zone that I needed to be in. I think it's an illness.
Yeah, and I think it's sometimes when we are struggling with the creativity that we want to create something, it doesn't work. We need to follow the flow in a way. And
natural.
The natural flow, because then it just comes and it gets more authentic, and it's not like this. I'm struggling, I'm trying so hard. And
you need to genuinely be in that mind frame. You can't just put yourself into it and go, right, I'm putting myself there. You need to be there. Otherwise, don't bother.
One of my favorite songs is A Girl Called Molly. That song is also that really struck me, and it was produced by Tans.
I think,
It's about the girl's addictive, and she dies. So can you tell me about the song, and who is Molly?
Right, okay, so Molly is a combination. I've said this before in another interview. There's 2 girls from where I'm from. I'm not going to say their names. 2 girls who I know their situations. And basically what I've done is I molded them both into one person. So I took experiences from one girl. I took experiences from the other girl. And I made them one person. So Molly isn't a real person. She's 2 people. She's 2 people's stories that I've grabbed information from. Real stories, real stories, but 2 people's stories. I thought, right, her story sounds good. It's got this about it that's really good to mention. Her story is also good because it's got this about it. What if I merged them into a girl and put both their stories together? It's exactly what I did. Basically, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah. How is the process? Does it when you do a thing like that? How is the process? Do you start to write things down, or do you sit down and you just write it, or you come up with?
So in my head, I obviously already knew how I wanted the story to go, because I obviously know both of the girls' stories. So I knew the parts of each girl's story that I wanted to put present, right? I guess I know the story of how I wanted to put it, and then I sit in my kitchen until it's done, which is I don't know, however many hours it takes. But with Girl Called Molly, I didn't take no breaks. I read that from the beginning to end. I did sometimes with songs like I'll write the hook and the verse. I'll come back and a day or two later and I'll finish it. With that track, I remember solidly and obsessively from the beginning to the end, making sure I just put all my energy there. I didn't want to come back to it. I've never done a song like that before. I always wanted to do a storytelling song, and I think I've done it quite well, actually. I've got another song called Ahmed, which is pretty similar, basically talking from a man in Palestine with 2 kids point of view. He's basically, his wife's dead, and it's just him who's looking after his 2 kids. I've got another song like it, a story type song, but that's not a part of any type of part of any type of mixtape or project. That's just a single track. But it's out, it's there. You can go listen to that if you haven't heard it.
And because this song, directly when I heard it, I was like, ooh, it's also so, it's a sad.
I try and do them every now and then, man. I try and do them every now and then. I'm probably due to do another one, to be fair. Yeah.
But when you're talking about this, do you see yourself more like a storyteller or poet or messenger? Like you are an
I'm
empath.
all of them things.
Yeah.
I'm all of them things. I'm all of them things you just mentioned. I'm definitely a poet. I'm definitely a rapper. All rappers are artists who just paint pictures from their point of view. Just like, you know, there's nothing special about us more than what there is a painter who paints his or her experiences in paint. You know what I'm trying to say? It's everyone has a way of self-expression. Even football, even guys who go and play football or rugby or whatever your sport, when they play that, that's they're expressing themselves through that. You know, everyone has a way to express the art that lives within them. Every person is a piece of art, right? Because we all live different lives. We all live different lives. We all have different voices. We all have different components. We are all pieces of art. There's not one piece of art that's the same as another piece.
Yeah, I love
it. It's so true, though. We are all pieces of art, all different. Not any one of us is exactly the same. Just like art, by the way, there's not one piece of art that you're going to look at and go, looks exactly the same to my man's bit. You know what? Art comes from the soul, the heart. You've even seen them pictures. If you've seen them pictures, it's like it just looks like a big splodge. Like it doesn't look good, but they're worth thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
Because that's a piece of art. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? One man's trash is another man's treasure. All of that stuff. It's all the same. It's all interlinked, man. I think in today's day and age, including myself, this is where we are all at now. Everyone's chasing some sort of validation. Everyone's chasing that where they belong because of it might have been like that before, but because of social media now and you've got like statuses, right? Oh, my man's got 100,000 followers and he gets this. Oh, my man's only got 100 followers and only gets this. That's where we're at now. Like, for instance, and it comes out onto the music too. Back in our day, back when I was a kid, for instance, right, before Spotify, before social media, I would go and buy an album from HMV, which is a shop in the UK that sells like CDs, DVDs, right? I would go buy an album. I'd come home with an album and I'd listen to it nonstop. It's going in the disc track. It's coming out. It's coming in this car with me. I'm taking it here. I'm taking it here. I'm appreciating this bit of work that I've just bought. I want to listen to this senseless. I want to, back to front, I'm going to listen to this. Now, it's not like that. For one, because of Spotify and everything, people will listen to your mixtape or album. Oh, that's nice, cool. Oh, but have you heard what my man's or my girl's just released? Let me go and listen to. All of a sudden, your last week's news you've forgotten about. No one's paid for your mixtape because they're paid for their Spotify monthly, which means that they get a chance to go and listen to it. Go on to the next. That's why I like selling CDs. 1, 2. People care about views and streams now. For instance, you could have an artist who's so fucking good, so hard, so raw, so authentic, yeah? He could be spitting the most maddest, the most craziest, the most insane lyrics for anyone to take in. If he's only got 200 views on that song, no one's going to listen to it, right? People are going to be like, like, for instance, when we was young, it used to be like, are you hearing what he's saying? Are you hearing him? Like, did you hear what he just said? Now it's, did you hear what he just said? Yeah, but how many views has he got? Oh, he's only got like 1K. That's not that shit. That's where we're at. How can you compete with that? Like, labels used to say, oh, you're talented. You've got talent. We want you. You are talented. We want you. Do you know what labels say now? Has he got a following?
Yeah.
How much fans has he got interacting with him? Oh, okay. Is he talented? Oh, don't worry about if he's talented or not. I don't give a shit if he's talented. Does he have followers? Does he get interaction? Oh, okay, we'll sign him then. It's done. It's gone to shit. It's gone to shit. It's like the beauty of what music is, what made people like me and you fall in love with what music is, that's gone now. That's gone. That's gone. Completely gone. The beauty of buying an album. Yes, you can still do it, but it's a niche thing now. Like if you're gonna go buy an album, like not say you and 5 friends like an artist, right? Say you go out and buy an album. You'll come back and you'll message your friends about that artist and they'll go, oh no, I've just been listening on Spotify. They won't say to you that they've got the album too. Very unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're at now. The love from consumption and the love from consumption has been lost. So now the love from creation has been lost. Because why are the people going to keep putting love into creation if the consumption has no love? If the person you're creating for don't love, it's hard to love. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why music is dead. That's why you've got no young artists coming up who was like, even in the UK, yeah, for the past 10, 15 years, we've always had a young up-and-coming rapper who's like everyone's watching. There's eyes on him. He's going to do something. More times they do go and do something. For the last 3 years, we haven't had that. There is no UK rapper coming up who everyone's looking at going, oh, my God. Central C come through, basically set the mark so high and you know, and basically went worldwide, global. And there's no room for anyone else to come through. There's no youngers coming in. There's no nothing. There's no talent. There's nothing. It's dead. It's silent. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's no one coming through. It's like UK rap is dying, if not dead. And if I look to the States as well, it's pretty much the same. I'm not seeing any young up-and-coming American rapper who's taking over the... I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing anything. Are you?
No. And what would you say? I was just thinking when you're telling me all this, what would you say if your kids would come to you, like say when they are 10, 11, like, Dad, we've seen you, you know, I want to do this. What advice would you give them? Because it's so true what you're saying about the followers. And the just stupid thing in this is also that the Insta algorithm on the social media algorithm, we can't win over that. No. So it's like a non-winning game.
Yeah, of course. Every time I put a post out, I lose followers. Like every time I post, I lose followers. I might gain a couple, but I lose. I mean, look, what I grew up wanting to be a part of is not what I'm a part of. Obviously, times change. You can't foresee that stuff. But as a kid growing up, I said to myself, I want to be a rapper. I want to be signed to a label. I want to sell CDs and I want to do shows. Not once did I say to myself, I want to have an Instagram account with thousands of followers. I want to talk to the camera about stuff and promote my music 24/7 for hardly any type of comeback. I want to I didn't want that. I didn't want what I'm doing now. This is what I've had to do because you adapt to the times, right? As a kid, I did not grow up wanting to do this. I grew up wanting to make music. That's all I wanted to do, make music. Make music. But, you know, I'm now doing all the extra stuff that an artist in 2025 is acquired to do, which I didn't grow up to do. So in answer to your question, what would I say to my kids? I'd say find something else. Find something else. Do that. And furthermore, if my son wanted to be a rapper, I'd ask him why. What are you going to rap about? You've had a good life. Because they're not going to have the life that I've had. So if my son turned around to me one day and was like, oh, Dad, I want to be a rapper, I'd be like, what are you going to rap about? Go on and rap me a story. Make me believe you. Make me want to listen. Go. And when he goes, I'll go, exactly. Shut up. They're just doing that. Like, the thing is, the world's changing, man. I'd suggest them to do more social media than rap. Because rap, again, if you go onto my Instagram, when I talk about stuff, go and look at my views. When I talk about stuff, I get more views than when I rap about stuff. That's sad, but that's true. When I talk to a camera, which is easy, takes zero talent, I can talk all day. I can talk until I'm purple in the face. I don't care. I can talk. I talk. So if people want me to get a phone out and go, rah, 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 I can do that.
Yeah.
But that's not what I want to do. I want to rap. I want to make music. And again, I've got a fucking really good fan base. And they but there's more people out there who want to listen to me talk than rap. That's just facts. Like, people like to hear I think it's because I'm quite confident and I talk confidently and my opinions make sense, whether they raffle people up, whether they wind you up, whether you agree. I think my opinions grip your attention and the way that I talk to a camera kind of grips your attention too. So I think people just want to hear, even if they don't like me, they're still going to hear and listen to me talk. Whereas if they don't like me and they're about to hear a song, they might just go, don't want to hear that, don't want to hear him. But if I'm talking, they might want to hear. You know,
Yeah.
that's just my guess.
Yeah, but I think that was a bit of the reason also why I started a Second Cap Story, was that I wanted to create a platform for artists in different ways, like singers, dancers, poets, just to create a platform where we can meet and talk about
Of course.
art, about being creative, being, like I've seen in my interviews also, that along with the creativity, mental health often goes hand in hand, because often we are very sensitive people. And we spoke about also before we started this about being an empath, and the struggle about also being sensitive, and the creative process, the beauty that can come out of being sensitive. But I think also if you are an artist in any way, to learn how to deal with it also.
It's all a learning process, because remember, right, again, coming back to what I was just saying to you before about the social media and everything changing, is so for instance, back in the day, a rapper or an artist or whoever's haters, they wouldn't have a voice. Haters didn't have a voice. So for instance, Eminem back in the day, like, imagine if social media was around when Eminem released the Slim Shady LP. Right, so like, you get what I'm trying to say? So the opinions from people without social media was there, but I only ever heard Eminem talk about his critics. Like, oh, my critics, but really, I'd never met an Eminem critic, because everyone loves Eminem, but he used to talk about it in his music, like, oh, my critics said this and that, rah, rah, rah. Now, social media, now your haters have a voice. Now you can see the hate. So now you can, back in the day, a label or something would push someone into you, and all you would hear on television is the love and the glazing of that artist. You wouldn't hear a hater. You wouldn't read a hater's comment. You'd have haters out there, but they're silence. No one can hear them. Doesn't matter. Whereas now, so again, when you said about being sensitive and you having to learn, of course, because you can be sensitive because that's what makes good music, but you can't be sensitive in the sense of taking everyone's comments in and thinking that that's true. So like, you can't take an opinion from user 699859962 with zero profile picture on Instagram, said something to you like, oh, this is rah, rah, rah. You can't take that in as fact. You can't take that in as, oh, that's true because he said it. You need to go, it needs to bounce off you. It needs to bounce off. You can't take it in. The minute you start taking that in is the minute you're going to start going, oh, or maybe I did. You shouldn't do that. Any hateful comment that you ever get, personally, any hateful comment that I get, it goes ding, ding. I keep it there as well. I don't even delete it. I leave hateful comments there because it doesn't bother me in the slightest. It did at the beginning. When I first started putting myself in the public eye and I'd get a comment, like I'd delete the comment. Wouldn't want no one to see it. Delete that comment. And then I think about it. Now I just don't care. I don't care. You can say what you want about me. I do not care. And I think that's where you need to be. You need to be in that space. You can't be in that space where you're worried about what people are saying and you're taking it in. Because don't put yourself in the public eye if you're not ready for what comes with it, especially with music.
Yeah.
Music's always going to be down to opinion. And anything that anyone ever does isn't going to have 100% love. Nothing that anyone does, everyone's going to love. It's impossible. So, again, what I was talking to about earlier, just be yourself. Don't try and please anyone, all of that stuff, because it just makes you unwell, really and truly.
What does success mean to you?
I already feel like I've said it on a couple of my songs. I already feel like I've made it. So, success to me is eternal happiness. So, success to me is being loved, loving, pretty much happiness, that internal happiness. That's success. It's nothing to do with money. It's nothing to do with anything else or what other people measure of success for you. It's literally that eternal happiness, that bliss, that inside you where you'll sit down and you feel that sense of you're wanted, you belong. That's success. That's success, because not everyone has that. And I went my whole entire life without having that. And now I have it. I understand what it feels like. But beforehand, I'm rich now compared to then, which I was poor then. I'm not rich with money now, but I'm rich now. You get what I'm saying?
Rich in your heart. But I was thinking.
Yeah. So I'm rich in life, which I wasn't rich in life before. I was poor in life, really poor in life. Like bottom of the barrel, very low. Friends saying that I looked unwell. I've been there. I've walked down the street and my friends have gone, like, my name's Jordan. Like before, Jordan, you all right? You look unwell. Like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Didn't even know that I looked unwell. Didn't even know that I looked like rubbish, because that's what the drugs will do to you.
Yeah.
They blind you, make you. Cocaine was my drug, by the way, just to clear it up.
Yeah.
Cocaine was the drug, my drug of choice.
Yeah.
So on weekends or even in a weekday, I'd be sniffing a lot of cocaine, and it's expensive as well. So that would leave my pockets very, very, very skint, because I'd spend a lot of money on cocaine. If not, sometimes I'd buy more cocaine than food. Sometimes I wouldn't have food because I bought cocaine. It was a problem.
Yeah.
And like I said, I had friends telling me, saying I looked bad. I didn't see it. I didn't think I looked bad. I wouldn't walk down the street if I thought I looked bad, even then. But I was walking down the street I didn't know. My friends was pulling me up going, are you okay? Now I look back, I'm like, oh my God. Like, but you don't see it at the time, do you?
Can you feel that more artists have come to you and want to collaborate with you, like now when you're clean?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I know, because like I said, I weren't rapping when I wasn't clean. So no one was going to want to collaborate with cokehead me. I was just sniffing cocaine, doing nothing. You know what I'm trying to say? So like, no, like I didn't even have an Instagram then. I weren't in the public eye in any way. I had Facebook, but Facebook's Facebook. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I wasn't doing anything.
But we can see now, if we go into your Insta, we can see there's this beautiful post where you're talking about that you're working hard to get a life out on the coast, to live there with the kids, to give them another start in life.
Yeah.
So how are you working towards that?
Well, me and my fiance are making a 4-year plan. So obviously we plan to sell the house that we're in and move down. Even if we don't buy a house straight away, and we was to live in, a holiday home for a little bit, like a trailer thing. You've got your bedrooms, you've got your kitchen, you've got your living room, but it's kind of like a caravan on stilts. It doesn't move. But even if we was to have to do that for a couple of years and buy 1 or 2 more, become landlords, I don't know. We've got plans, man. We've got plans. I don't know exactly how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. When we sell this house, we are going to be moving down to Cornwall. I think the furthest away from London in the UK you can get is the best. As far away from London you can get, keep going. London is not a place that I'd want to bring my kids up. I worry about the future. I worry about everything, if I'm being honest. I worry about my country a lot as well. I worry about everything. I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
So I like to sometimes just put fingers in the ear, try not to, even on social media, it's so toxic now, because your FYP knows what triggers you and what you feel, what you like and what you don't. Your phone knows, doesn't it? So when you're scrolling, you're seeing stuff that you might not want to see that triggers you. I do anyway. Sometimes I have to throw my phone, physically throw it. Sometimes I'm sick of having it in my hand and I actually throw it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why is this thing glued to my hand? It needs to be surgically removed from my hand. It gets ridiculous. Even now, after I'm off this interview to you, I'm banging the phone away for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Done. Because, I think these phones are another problem, man. I could complain all day. Like, I'm not gonna. But I really could. That's why I rap, innit? That's why I rap.
Yeah. And I think also, if we go back to the music, like before, I think the process was different. Like you wrote music, you did blah, 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 and you had your CDs or LP, or as you said, you bought your song and it was like so precious and blah, blah, blah. Now it's like...
No, swipe culture.
Swipe
culture. Yeah. Swipe. You listen to a little bit of a song. Oh, that's good, man. It's like... nothing's appreciated anymore. So to be an artist in today's era, when I'm an artist old enough to be in the older era, like I'm 33. So remember, like I came up doing music in the noughties. So that was the time where I wanted to be doing music. I just weren't, or I weren't. Social media, it's got its pros and cons, because the pro is, for instance, if it weren't for social media, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now.
No.
You wouldn't know who I am.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, I might have a couple CDs and but really and truly, like, how would I have been getting my name out there? So I wouldn't have been as much as that. So now, because of social media, I've got a bigger name now than I would have done without social media. But I make less money. But then do I? Because I wouldn't have had the fan base to make money from without social media. It's all mad. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just about adapting to the times and being true to yourself. Things change so fast now. If you study it too closely, you'll be unwell. For instance, you get people, for instance, I'm quite slow on things. I'm not a trend follower either. So like, I'll let people have them, or something might come out and I don't like it at first. I'll go back to it and I like it. Things change so fast that sometimes a person will just about get on one trend, and by the time he's finished that, the next one's already popping, and it's just like, what? So again, be
Is that
yourself.
in rap also? Like, yeah, you're trying to follow trends. Like, do you see that in rap music, or is it?
Yeah, of course you do. With the younger kids, of course you do. With the older rappers, not so much. I think because they know who they are. I think that people can switch it up and rap on different beats. Like, for instance, I'm not a drill rapper. I've rapped on a couple of drill beats, though. But if you listen to the song, it doesn't sound like a drill song because I put my take on it. So it doesn't sound like a drill song. So, yeah, like people, yeah, within the kids, people do follow fashion when it comes to music, yeah. But I'd say, again, that's not the way to be because trends don't last. Like, real music is timeless. Trends are not timeless. Trends pass. Real music lasts forever. Just make the music that makes you happy. Don't worry about trending and all of that stuff. I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah.
But the kids do. Yes, they do. Yeah.
Yeah. Before we go, I want just to talk a little about your latest video, Playing Games with Lady Bex.
Lady Bex is my artist. She's signed to my label, True Say ENT. So obviously it's not an industry-ready label, but that is my brand. It sells clothes as well. People buy the True Say clothes as well. And Lady Bex is the artist who I brought onto it to work underneath me in the sense of, like, I'm kind of like her mentor. She's my artist in the sense of I push her, we work closely. Everything that she releases goes through me. So she's my artist.
Yeah.
She's been a breath of fresh air to work with. She really is. She's a great, dedicated artist, beautiful voice, suffers with a bit of mental health like the rest of us, and she is a very relatable artist. And I've got people who don't even listen to me who love Lady Bex. So it's, again, that's beautiful in itself. So
it is, and it's an amazing song. So I hope everyone goes into your Insta or YouTube and listen to the.
Yeah, that's Lady Bex's track. That's on Lady Bex's Spotify as well. Lady Bex official. Yeah, man. Have you seen Be This Way as well? Our first video.
I don't know.
Oh, you might not have. You'll love that one. Get involved with that one.
Yeah, I must.
Type in Lady Bex SharpyMC and you'll see it. It'll be at the top. Be This Way. That was our first video. Playing Games is our second video.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah,
definitely
check out Be This Way.
Yeah. As I said, I really love your music, so I'm so happy, that I found you.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on today as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It was a big
I'm glad
pleasure.
we done it a little bit earlier as well.
Yeah. And we had a great talk a little bit before we started about being sensitive. So hopefully one day we can come back and just make an episode of being sensitive, because I think we are many creative people out there that is very sensitive, and maybe we just hold it into ourselves and don't talk so much about it. But it's important for our art.
Of course, no, definitely. Do you put the audio on Spotify as well for this? I know
Spotify.
This will be on Spotify too.
Yeah,
Excellent.
definitely. And Podcaster and YouTube soon. I just need to work the little magic with YouTube. Then we will find it on YouTube also. Yeah, basically where you find podcasts like Amazon also, and yeah. Mm-hmm. So this will be.
Because I found one of my podcasts one of the podcasts that I've been on before. I didn't even realize it, but I found it on Spotify lately. So this will be with that, I guess, won't it?
Yeah. You will find it under Second Cup Story. There you will find this.
Excellent. I'll go and give them a follow when I'm off as well.
Oh, thank you. Well, okay. I say thank you for today, and a big heart, and I hope the listeners also will love this as much as I did. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on today. Thank you. Big love.
Bye.
Let me know when you want me in for episode 2. I got you.
Definitely. I will.
Big love. Have a great day. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, darling.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
She's steady trying to find who's got the best in town. And she ain't trying to change, I guess she's destined now. And she blames it on being a molested child. Her mother weren't around and she was raised in care. She never knew her dad, she said that he weren't there. She be sniffing in the winter in her fake Montclair. If you see her after dark, you know that she wants gear. She's got barrels full of problems and her heart is cold. She be sucking brothers off for a half of snow. And then she takes it back to the dark alone. And then she deeps all of her problems and they start with coke. And sometimes she holds a pack for some nasty blokes. They tell her don't be looking or you're sure to get it. Don't be doing nothing stupid or you'll know you'll regret it. Molly looked into their eyes and she knew that they meant it. But Molly didn't care, she took a look anyway. She clocked that there was money light and dark and there was hella yay. Kinda sent her head astray, Molly had to bellamy. And if you couldn't guess what happened next, let me demonstrate. Molly took a taxi to a Premier Inn. She took the money and the yay but not the heavier things. She linked up with a guy, just a boy from the estate. Weren't nothing on his mind apart from sniffing getting laid.